The 24th of June 2010, 11:16 p.m. Indianapolis, Indiana. I was sitting on my porch looking at the stars and watching the planes moving in the sky when I noticed a bright white sphere moving in the sky from the NE and eventually veering to the north. The spheres were bright white and had no blinking lights. It was very high in the sky and above the normal airline traffic. It was too big to be a satellite and wasn't high enough to even be considered a satellite. The speed was 5x faster than the air traffic that I was observing. I immediately contacted an associate that lives on the other side of the city. He confirmed seeing the white sphere but had seen two of them moving in the same direction. I had limited visibility of the sky due to tree obstructions and had not seen the second one.
The 22nd of April 2009, 7:49 p.m. Beech Grove, Indiana. I was sitting on my patio, facing the north, when I saw a bright orange light. At first, I thought it was the headlights of an oncoming plane. It was slowing, coming towards my position, getting bigger and bigger. I heard no noise. I was waiting for it to go past me to hear the engine noise and to see what exactly it was. I got my camera and was able to take several pictures. Once it flew over me, I heard nothing, and also all I was able to see was still a bright orange ball fly past silently. There was no apparent plane, helicopter, or any aircraft shape. I felt scared. I never have seen anything like this. The orange ball continued to fly in the same path when it made an angular direction change. It looked like an 40-degree angle up. It wasn't a slow change, it was an instant change of direction. It was the kind of direction change you see in video games. After that, it just disappeared as it ascended up. Since then, I have seen the same thing on April 29, 09 at 10:13 p.m. and on the 10th of June 10 at 10:07 p.m. The first two pictures are from the April 22, 09 incident. The last picture is from the April 29, 09 incident. I zoomed in a lot on the April 22, 09 pictures. I didn't zoom in on the April 29, 09 picture. Notice the angular shape of the April 22, 09 pictures. I was amazed when I looked at them, after the fact.
The 24th of June 2010, 10:50 p.m. Indianapolis, Indiana. Just happened to be outside on the phone. I looked up and noticed a white light in the sky moving at a good speed that I could tell was something different. The first one moved directly north before the light slowly faded out. I don't think it faded because of distance. After telling my friend on the phone, looked up again and saw a similar object moving faster heading northeast. Lost sight of it after a couple of minutes.
The 30th of June 2010, 11 a.m. Indianapolis, Indiana. At 10:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, a Lafayette witness called to say she was seeing spheres streaming towards sun. Wife went outside and used building to block direct sun disk but could see the spheres streaming towards sun, mostly from west towards sun. One instance there was one that split into two. Other times there were handfuls streaming to sun all at once. This sighting is still ongoing, with other witnesses from Kokomo, Peru, Lafayette, and Indianapolis all reporting same occurrence. Pictures will be uploaded for this case later.
The 5th of July 2010, 10:20 p.m. Indianapolis, Indiana. I was driving slowly going under I-65 south on a local road with my wife. It was about 10:20 p.m., since that was the time I saw shortly after the event. As we came out from under I-65, I noticed a yellowish flaming ball in the sky on the driver's side in front of us. It was motionless like a star. Fireworks were going off occasionally. But what made this event stand out was the large size, about the size of a blueberry. The duration was about 1 minute, and it was covered with flames moving in an upward direction, like if you hold a piece of paper and burn it, the flame flows up to the sky. It at first was steady, but its size being too large for any fireworks, and the fact it was burning as if on fire but orb with flames, not as an explosion or flare. It pulsed after I showed my wife and got dimmer, then noticeably brighter, then dimmer, and gone. It was amazing.
I was sitting on my porch at 9:40 11:40 p.m., approximately, on the night of July 25, 2010 when I saw a meteor fall on the northeastern horizon. It was a flash of white-orange light lasting just a few seconds. The meteor shower called the Delta AQUARIDS peak on July 29. I believe it may have been one of them. It fell northwest of southeast India. But if this info does not check out, it was a UFO. Also, there were two helicopters flying nearby. That is typical for this area and time of night. The skies were clear and the full moon was coming up on the southeast horizon. The horizon opposite to the meteor which fell near the northeast horizon. Now, should anyone actually recover this meteorite, I would like a chunk. But if it was not a falling meteor, then I don't know what it was. Thanks for reading. So long for now.
Last night, early this morning around 1:47 a.m., myself, my niece and my nephew spotted a strange object heading westward over the Indianapolis skyline. We were heading northeast in my car on State Road 67 North, and we were about 3 or 4 miles from I-465, a loop that surrounds the city. The Indianapolis International Airport is only about 5/6 of a mile from the location where we spotted the object, so it is not unusual to see aircraft flying around this area. The object we spotted, however, was flying in the direction of the airport and was dead ahead of us. At first, I thought it might be an airplane. But I noticed very quickly that this did not seem like an airplane. I immediately pointed this out to my niece, age 12, and my nephew, age 17. "Look at that, guys." And they looked up. What we saw were two white lights, spread apart quite a ways, flying very quickly in a very straight line. If it was an airplane landing, it obviously would have been coming down at an angle. It most likely was over a mile away from my best guess, and from what we could tell, it seemed to be very close to treetop level. The sighting lasted less than 10 seconds. It was moving very fast. Some more details. It was cloudy. It had just rained about an hour before. The white lights seemed to be rectangular to me, but I am not certain. My best guess is the two white lights were on one craft, and the lights were not two separate craft. My nephew said he saw it flash 5 times and disappear. This I did not notice. I think the flashing can be attributed to it disappearing behind trees. My niece said she noticed an oval shape around the lights. My nephew and I did not notice this. She mentioned it was similar to seeing the moon's shadow during a crescent moon. I've checked online to see if anyone else has reported seeing this, but I've not found anything.
The 13th of September 2010, 8:45 p.m., Indianapolis, Indiana. I was outside smoking a cigarette and looking at the stars and clouds when I saw a bright light that I thought was the North Star at first, but then it was moving. It was moving pretty quickly from west to east. Thought it was an airplane at first, but then I did see an airplane and realized it did not look the same. It had no flashing lights, just one solid bright white light. It moved faster than a plane at that height and made no sound. It moved from west to east, then suddenly turned south, and then turned again and disappeared out of sight. Not behind a cloud or anything, just slowly faded. I just don't think it was an airplane because there were no flashing lights and it turned way too sharply too fast, like a 90-degree turn very quickly for that altitude. Wondering if anyone else saw this?
The 1st of November 2010, 11:45 p.m. I was driving from Bloomington to Indianapolis down Road 37 and Highway 465. When I first noticed something, I saw a diagonal line of 5 lights across the sky in the distance. I thought maybe they were lights from towers or something, but when I got close to one, I noticed it was not. It was a triangular-shaped craft that was hovering. It had lights on all 3 points, and on the back there were gliding red and white lights. It then glided across the sky after hovering for a moment. All the way through Martinsville and Indianapolis, I continued to see them near the highway. There was even one over my neighborhood near the highway when I reached Indianapolis. When I got home, I continued to follow them and try to take pictures, but they weren't very clear photos. I have never seen any unidentified flying objects before. I was very surprised, and it felt surreal. I found it odd that there were so many in all across the sky and spread across such long distances.